Subtitles. Subtitles are always great for when you want to add just a little bit extra flavor to your otherwise unremarkable franchise game title. You know, think something along the lines of the Harry Potter series. You know, each movie has its own subtitle. You know, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It's not just each film being referred to just Harry Potter or Harry Potter 2 or Harry Potter 3 or Harry Potter 4 or Harry Potter 5 or Harry Potter 6. Each title has its own dedicated subtitle that describes something that is relevant to the film. Again, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, we know that the movie is about a guy named Harry Potter and a stone that apparently belongs to a sorcerer. The point I'm trying to make is that subtitles are a great way to add some sort of substance to a again, otherwise boring title. You know, you add something that is either relevant to the story or maybe something that's not really relevant but has some sort of story significance, something like that. And one franchise that does this every now and then, and that is the
Resident Evil
franchise.
Resident Evil
Franchise. So far, the most recent 3 games in the series have all had subtitles, starting with the release of Resident Evil 7 back in 2017, where the game's subtitle is Biohazard, which is hilarious because in Japan, the series is called Biohazard, so it's kind of like a play on thing because their version of Resident Evil 7 is called Biohazard 7 Resident Evil. So it's like this weird flip-flop thing. I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny because, I don't know, does that mean that technically Biohazard 7 Resident Evil is the only game in the series that not only takes place in a residence, but has the residents of the residents shooting you and killing you, as in the residents are evil? So is that the only title that is accurate? That is the only accurate title to the series. What the fuck? And then in 2021, we of course were given Resident Evil 8 Village, or Resident Evil Village. And of course now in 2026, we now finally have Resident Evil 9, or Resident Evil Requiem, which, you know, that's cool. Why now? You know, why now are they so adamant about using subtitles? I mean, it's great because it, you know, it's, you know, cool, great, awesome. But it also kind of leaves me a little confused because they are doing it now for these 3 games, but they wasn't doing that for the older games. I wonder why. The only game in the original franchise or the original series by itself that does have a subtitle is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which is funny because the remake took out the Nemesis subtitle for some reason. I don't know. Fuck it, whatever. So I got to thinking, what if all the Resident Evil games, mainline, not the side games or anything, because most of them do have subtitles, mainline, what if every mainline Resident Evil had a subtitle? What would that subtitle be? Again, we already know Nemesis, Biohazard, Village, and Requiem for 3, 7, 8, and 9, but what would the others be? So, yep, that is the premise of this video. I hope you enjoy. Also, like, comment, and subscribe, please. Now, for this, I would say that Resident Evil 1 gets a pass, mainly because of the fact that it is the first game in the series. Usually, first outs of a series don't usually have a subtitle, or at least a need for one. The name Resident Evil by itself, even the Japanese name Biohazard, already kind of describes the game just fine. So the need for a subtitle, not really, but that goes against the whole point of this video, so I'm gonna have to give it one anyway. How about Resident Evil Mansion? You're in the Spencer Mansion, so mansion. I don't know if that would work. I don't know if I like that. Resident Evil T virus, because the whole game's about the T virus. Maybe, you know, name the games after whatever fucking virus is in the game. So like so this game would be T virus, Resident Evil 2 would be like G virus, Resident Evil 4 would be Las Plagas, Resident Evil 5 would be Ouroboros. I don't know, I kind of like that one. Resident Evil 5 Ouroboros. No, that one has a nice that one has a nice ring to it. I think I kind of like that one. How about Resident Evil Alpha? Because you're playing the Alpha team. You know, it's you know, Chris and Jill are both part of the Alpha team. Maybe. This game is a survival horror game, and it is the first to coin the term survival horror, so maybe Resident Evil Survive or something like that? Like, oh, it's about survival, so Resident Evil Survival, maybe? Again, this is why I say that it's kind of hard to give this game a subtitle when it's kind of already got a pretty decent name. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with Resident Evil Alpha, just because I think that sounds like a pretty decent title for a game, especially considering that this is the Alpha team again. Kinda makes sense, because you want to pick something that's relevant to the game and makes sense. Again, looking at the other 4 games that do in fact have subtitles. Nemesis. Nemesis is a big part of the game. That one makes sense. Biohazard. Yes, the Residence is in fact a biohazard. I mean, come on. Resident Evil 8. Village. It takes place in a fucking village. RE9. Requiem. The gun. The gun's called the Requiem. That's why the game's called that. So, yeah, no, I think I'll just stick with Alpha. All right, moving on. Resident Evil 2 could be called quite a few things, actually. It could be called Resident Evil G Virus, like I said earlier. It could be called Resident Evil Apocalypse, because, you know, it's kind of a Raccoon City apocalypse going on. Or actually, you could just simply call the game Raccoon City, because it takes place in Raccoon City. But you could also do that. You could also do that for 3 as well, couldn't you? Son of a bitch. What would you call Resident Evil 2? I mean, I don't know. Apocalypse sounds fine, but it's like, is that really the main thing that I could call it? Like, I'm not, because it's not really apocalypse, I guess, because it's not like widespread everywhere. It's sort of just in this contained city. So it's like, one I could have said for Resident Evil 1 is Resident Evil Dual Fates or some shit like that. So like Resident Evil 2 Dual Fates. That's so fucking stupid. yeah, no, because the G virus is such a huge part of this game, I think I might just go with Resident Evil 2 G virus, maybe. Yeah, because it is such a big part of this game. So yeah, I'll go with that one. Moving on. I said that Resident Evil 2 had a lot of names that could go for it, but I ended up just coming up with like 3 maybe. But Resident Evil 4, however, God, son of a bitch, why is it so hard to come up with, oh my God, why did I come up with the premise of this video? Holy shit, am I a fucking idiot? Oh my God. Resident Evil 4 Las Plagas, because I've already said that. That would make sense, because Las Plagas is such a big part of the game. Resident Evil 4 Cult, because it is a cult. Resident Evil 4 European Adventure. I don't know. European Island Adventure. I don't fucking know. Make this simple and call it Resident Evil 4 Mission, because it's a mission. Well, God, RE5 is also a mission, isn't it? Oh my God. Oh, Resident Evil 4 Ashley, name it after Ashley because she is a huge vocal point of the story. She's literally the reason that Leon's there, that she's like this, you know, she's this presence, you know, she's the reason that this whole thing's happening. So calling the game or naming the game after her would make sense, I guess. Yeah, I'm going with Ashley. Resident Evil 4, Ashley. There you go. Short, simple, to the point. I pretty much already have my pick for RE5, Resident Evil 5 Ouroboros, because, again, I said it fucking earlier. But I guess if the game had to be called something else, Resident Evil 5 Wesker, because Wesker is the main villain of the game. That would make sense. Resident Evil 5 Africa, because it takes place in Africa, maybe. You know, that would be a great time for me to tell you all that if you watching this video have a much better idea for a subtitle for any of these games, put it in the fucking comments! Put it in the comments! Put it in the fucking comments! Put it in the comments! Yeah, no, this is a pretty easy one for me. I'm gonna just go with Resident Evil 5 Ouroboros. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that.
Take it.
I can't right now.
Take it.
I can't right now.
You grab it.
Forget
Take it. You grab it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. You grab it. You grab it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. You grab it. Take it. You grab it. Take it. You grab it.
Now, the problem with Resident Evil 6 is the fact that the damn thing is so big. This game is so huge that there's nothing that the game really focuses on specifically that can encapsulate the entire game. You know what I mean? Like, I could just, again, say the virus that's in the game. The game's virus is the C virus. Resident Evil 6 C virus. Okay, cool. That would be fine. But what about, you know, anything else? I mean, you could call this one Apocalypse. This one would make a lot of sense to be called Apocalypse, considering the whole point of the game. Call it Resident Evil 6, I'm not really sure. I'm not good with words. Clearly, this entire video has pretty much proves that I'm not good with words, that I'm not good with descriptors, I'm not good with things that help describe something, for the love of fucking Christ. Oh my god. Now, the game's not about an all-out war, but like, you know, call it something like Resident Evil 6, what's that one Latin word? I think I remember from a movie. That one John Wick movie, Parabellum. Yeah, that word. Resident Evil 6 Parabellum is like prepare for war, you know, or some shit. I think that's what it means in Latin. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. You see what I mean? There's nothing that this game specifically focuses on that could, again, represent the entire thing, the entire package. So it's like, yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna go with C virus. Any of you can say what you think in the comments if anyone's even watching this fucking video. But there has got to be someone out there that is better at naming stuff than me. So, yeah, this is the end of the video. Yeah. A waste of fucking time, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a waste of your time. Yeah, not a waste of my time. No, it was, in fact, a waste of my time. But you know what? I thought the premise of this video was quite interesting. So, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, comment, you know, all that bullshit. And, see you in the next video.